It's a fortified wine. Same like little.
Just imagine me editing my own voice.
What if I said, like, good morning, good afternoon, good evening?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Welcome back to the Bottomless Bar.
Yeah, from wherever you're finding us.
On the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah.
On Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
In Romania.
In Romania.
I'm scared. I feel like I have to do all the hard parts of this job.
It's a bottomless roll. This is opening the bar.
Put it on your roll like butter.
Okay, it's time to open the bar.
B.
Please open the bar.
B.
Some of us
The
need...
people are thirsty. And they want some of that sweet, sweet nectar. I said sweet, sweet nectar.
Is Cher with us today?
She might be.
Oh. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
Whenever you're ready.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe give me like a 1 and a 2 and a... Good morning. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So we can't have anything nice.
All right, I'll do the countdown.
I actually would prefer a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
3.
You're not supposed to say it. You don't need to move your lips. I'll do it myself. How about that?
You forgot how to count backwards from 3.
And eternity later.
Cheers. Welcome everyone again to another episode of The Bottomless Bar. Finally got Pod Mom on mic. Finally did it. Episode 5. This week we're talking about Valentine's Day.
It's episode 6.
Or episode 6. So I've been drinking. I apologize. Anyways, I'm joined today by
Pod Mom.
AKA Jess.
AKA Jess. And
Kara, AKA Carl.
AKA
Michelle Smith.
Great.
What's your name?
Oh, well, and I'm Joe.
Nice.
I'm Joe.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
Not the Podfather. I wish I could be the Podfather, but someone else is already the Podfather, unfortunately. Well, we're talking about love this week. We're talking about Valentine's Day. And at first I want to say this is coming out late. So, maybe just a question to all the listeners out there. A question out there. Since we're late for Valentine's Day, do we deserve love? We missed it. We missed it. I would say yes.
I think
we still
so.
deserve. We deserve love.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But very quickly, you guys, I don't know if everyone knows this, but you're together, right?
Are we?
You and
Yes.
Pod Mom?
I'm just kidding.
Is this are you not together during the podcast and then you break up?
No, we're together. We're very much together.
Yeah, and you guys have been together for a while. So I'm assuming you're also young people. You probably dealt with Valentine's Day. You used to indulge, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah? Well, let me ask you this. As a couple, as a young couple, what are some of your thoughts on Valentine's Day? And, with regards to, dining out and going to bars and, like that kind of life, what's Valentine's Day mean to you guys?
Go ahead. Let her rip.
Well, from a man's perspective, what do you think about Valentine's Day?
I don't like Valentine's Day.
Well, why?
Because it feels forced.
It does feel forced.
Like, you shouldn't need a holiday to know that you should love your significant other and show them, some kind of affection. Also, teddy bears are stupid. And, you should just buy chocolates whenever. It shouldn't need to be a holiday.
Well, that's always been my feeling on it. As a male half of a relationship, I always wondered, I used to get crucified a lot on Valentine's Day by my significant others, because I wasn't thinking about them. And, I think it's really unfair, actually. And I think that's a lot of societal pressure. And these days, I'll just go on record and say I'm very against it. I'm very against it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the obligatory gift-giving holidays, just generally speaking.
Yeah.
If let's just say there's 3 of them, right? Mm-hmm. Birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, right? I don't care about any of those for myself. For other people, I will make an effort, but for the sake of this argument, do the other 363, 362 days of the year not matter? Mm-hmm. Does everything that I did in between those days, or what I don't do or do on
can't stay away from that.
I can't. No. God damn it. I'm nothing without buttholes.
Ass man.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. But so the female perspective.
Yeah.
So what do you say to that? What's your rebuttal?
I mean, so here's the thing. I think Valentine's Day is an excuse. Well, it's an excuse, obviously, for us to buy things that we don't need for each other. But it's also, I could see it as being needed for some people that don't acknowledge their significant others as much as they should, So I think that was why it's a forced holiday, if you will.
Yeah. Do you think you should be in a relationship with someone if you're only being acknowledged significantly 3 times a year?
On Valentine's Day, Christmas, and your birthday?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Like you're basically absentee the rest of the time? Like,
yeah.
Is that a hallmark of a good relationship?
No, probably not.
Yeah. So, so that's just kind of my take on the whole thing.
Do I like to receive things? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, as a couple, do you guys still participate in Valentine's Day? Do you still go out? Do you still...
So this year we had family things going on, so we didn't do anything. Last year we went out. I like an excuse to go out to dinner. I like to go out to dinner. I like to be served. I like a nice cocktail. It's not, we do that in general. Pod Mom and I, we like to go out and treat ourselves, support businesses, and I just like to be out. So that's not really any different. It's not, we're not doing it because it's Valentine's Day per se. It's just I don't feel like cooking at home.
Yeah, we're not normally doing a Valentine's Day menu or anything.
Yeah, we actually try to avoid that because, it's always a strict menu. I remember one of the first years we went out, we went to a local place and it was you can either get steak, there's a vegetarian option, or duck. And I was like, I've never had duck. I should get the duck, right? Why wouldn't I get the duck? And I got it and I hated it.
Really? I actually love duck.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, was it too...
gamey?
Too gamey? Yeah, Fair enough. Yeah.
Everything else was decent, but I don't really like when people put me in a box and they say you can only order...
Yeah, like a prefix.
...these things. So when we've gone out for Valentine's Day recently, in the last year or so, we will go not on Valentine's Day. So we're not forced to get that menu, but we could still celebrate each other.
Yeah. So when you were younger, did you, ascribe to that idea, in, pre-Pod Mom days, if you were dating someone and it just happened to be on Valentine's Day and they forgot, would that set you off?
No.
Well, that's, good for you.
Yeah, that never really bothered me. I mean, of course, I'd like a Happy Valentine's Day text, Yeah. But if you don't show up at my doorstep with flowers and chocolates, I'm not going to disown you.
Yeah. Again, I've been crucified. It's led me to resent the holiday in general. And then I think we talked a bit about this last week, but I was curious, what your thoughts were as a service person, as a server, as a bartender on Valentine's Day. Well, what generally, and you can even chime in if you had a good pretzel experience on Valentine's Day, or a bad one. I don't know if there's such a thing as a Valentine's Day pretzel.
I did not work at the pretzel stand during Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. But, what's your experience? I was trying to think of bad experiences, and I personally haven't really had any.
Yeah.
as a service person, nothing that really stands out. I mean, I've been stiffed obviously a few times, and I know it's happened on Valentine's Day because the volume of people is ratcheted up so high.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the business. You just get stiffed. I don't like it, but at certain times it's just.
Yeah.
It's
I think I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, please.
I think that any holiday, any sort of holiday where people feel the need to go out, when you're a server or a bartender, I think you get a lot of people that don't normally go out, right? So you get people that don't, they might not tip as well. They don't necessarily have the money, but they're taking their significant other out just because they felt like they were forced to. And then once they're there, I have enough money for the meal, but I don't necessarily have enough money to tip appropriately. I think that's a thing that happens. I hadn't thought about it like that, but I think you're right. I think...
Should those people be out in the first place, right? Like if you can't afford to tip.
Like maybe just cook a nice meal at home, do something for your person in that sort of way where it's not affecting my income at the end of the day. I think that I never really had bad experiences. I think it's sort of like what do you say, churn and burn? Turn and burn? I'm churning it.
Yeah, keep saying churn and burn.
Like butter?
That's what they do with the Cracker Barrel.
They do.
They churn and burn it.
That's probably why I have it on my mind.
That's right.
I'm a big Cracker Barrel girl. Yeah, I think, it's like a lot of people they've got other plans, right? They're going to see a movie, they're going to do this, they're going to get cocktails after, maybe someplace else. As far as Valentine's Day goes, I think people plan a lot of things. So I think, in that regard, it's nice because you're just like turning tables over. And then as a server, I think it's sort of nice to have a prefixed menu. I think it makes it easier on them, right?
I mean, honestly, it's one of my, if I have to wait tables, it's one of my favorite ways to wait tables. So I get to course everything out. I'm in total control of the service at the table as far as, timing and everything. And then it's easy. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to, I can explain it all when they explain the whole menu when they sit down, answer all their questions. They make their decision. And then I just am responsible for timing it out and make sure they have clean silverware and full drinks.
Yeah. So I think in that regard,
it's a really nice way to serve. Yeah. And historically, there are a few mandatory holidays when you work in the service industry, right? It's New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, right? And I think in the bar business, you have a couple others on top of that. It's like
St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you, St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah.
and maybe one more, right?
Bars are always really busy the night before Thanksgiving.
Night before Thanksgiving, yeah, okay.
In my experience.
Yeah, but it's not the same way where they say, managers well, it's all hands on deck, no call-offs, you're here, and then everyone's expected to work.
Yeah.
It's some role here, right? Everyone on staff. So it's typically lucrative. It's been lucrative, and it's kind of this older model, right? It's this quote unquote romantic outpouring where it's almost obligatory, even for couples, for the dining populace. And I guess you mentioned that a little bit, I hear that a lot, even at the bars, people, what you just said, people saying, well, we don't really go out. We were out with a couple last night, us three, and, they don't really deal with it anymore. And I'm just wondering, I think it's changing. I don't even, the last two, it was COVID the last 2 years, and I don't really have much of a memory to begin with. But, I would never go out on Valentine's Day just because I know I'm going to be stuck with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And the chance of getting bad service or running into a bad experience just goes up. And also, I guess I'm just not a romantic, but here I'm babbling again already, but, should it change?
Yeah.
Should the paradigm change as far as the service industry goes? Should they rethink Valentine's Day? Do you think, if there was another way to do it, would it incentivize you guys to go out again?
I think that
on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean-
or should Valentine's Day just be abolished?
yeah, just blow it up.
Well, I know in Puerto Rico that it's like Friendship Day or something. I don't know. My Spanish is terrible,
I
but it's
saw
like
that on the calendar. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like it's just a way for everyone to celebrate their friends and go out and
Yeah.
and,
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, should that, the service industry is slow to respond to trends or, market shifts. Is it time? Is
Yeah.
it time for the service industry en masse to kind of rethink the paradigm? Like, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think it would be nice as a customer, right? Like I'm saying the negatives of why I don't like Valentine's Day is because the prefix menu, etc. But as a business, that's good, right? It's easy for them. The people are probably more likely to fill up on reservations that night. It's, I think it's easy rather than just like a regular Monday night or something. I think a lot of businesses maybe that aren't even normally open on Mondays are probably open because Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Because they know they're going to make that money. So I don't think the service industry will get rid of Valentine's Day. But your cold heart can get rid of it on your own.
Yeah.
What do you think they should do instead of what's currently going on?
Well, that's it's a good question, and I'm not entirely sure because again, I'm also not an imaginative person. But I think drink specials are good.
Mm-hmm.
I think leave your regular menu alone and just business as usual. But then add an option for pre-existing menu items. If you buy it in a couple,
We'll
right?
give you a discount.
We'll give you a discount, or
We'll give you a free brownie.
here's a drink, right? Here's our Valentine's Day menu. I think there are ways to not pigeonhole your guests, speaking specifically to prefix menus, not pigeonhole your guests and still make it an experience.
Like a deal, like an entree and 2 drinks for a couple, you get it at a discount.
Yeah, or like yeah, exactly, something like that.
Yeah, just to bring people in. Yeah, that's
yeah,
a good idea.
bring people in.
Do you think they should keep reservations for Valentine's Day?
Well, I think places that normally take reservations should continue to take reservations. And this is maybe a bit of a tangent here, but something that people do often on these big holidays, that these obligatory dining out holidays, is they'll call multiple places and make reservations at multiple places, and then obviously they can only go to one. The other people are fucked. Well, I think there are some places that are taking
The credit card.
credit cards and charging you if you don't show. And I think I've never worked at one of those places. That was unheard of 15 years ago,
I
right?
think it's a great idea.
Well, it's a great idea, and
But who does that money go to?
and that's what I was curious about, because you had mentioned it, a couple episodes ago with the place that you went to that, was open seating, quote unquote, at the bar. Who gets that money?
I would hope it would go to the server.
In part, at
Yeah.
least, right?
Because they're missing out on the tip, right? The business doesn't necessarily, of course they're losing money on the people not ordering food or whatever, they're missing some money, right?
But that's imagined money, that they didn't have that yet. The server was guaranteed that people were going to be there in their section. They're now out.
Yeah, or they're thinking they're going to make X amount of dollars because it's a Saturday night.
Yeah.
They depend on it.
Yeah, and if there's anyone out there that listens that has done this in the past or thinks that this is like a life hack or something like that, I want you to smack yourself in the face right now, because it's terrible on a lot of levels. We go to work, the bartenders and service people, to make money, and each seat has a dollar sign on it. You expect to turn that at least, each seat, if there's a 6 top tables or a booth that can seat 8 or whatever, you expect to make a certain amount of money off of that, as does the restaurant. So for you to call multiple places and make reservations at all of them, you're fucking a lot of people,
I think that I experienced this. I think I might be totally making this up because it sounds good, but I think that Open Table, the app, does, let's say restaurant A and restaurant B both use Open Table. they won't let you, the app will not let you make reservations at both places at the same time.
I've heard Open Table is like the people behind it are former service industry people. You know, and I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's true, if my assumptions are correct, I think that's good. Step in the right direction.
Yeah. Shout us. You know, call us Open Table. We'll sponsor us.
Yeah. You could. We won't sponsor you. You sponsor us.
yeah. Exactly. We're the fucking poor ones here. Yeah. So what we were talking about before that? Before I blew it all up. Oh well, let me move it on.
Yeah. Move it.
Is romance dead? Is romance dead? Like, is there such thing as a romantic dinner out? Like a romantic setting?
All
like,
I need is a little buzz, and I'm like...
You're good. You could be on the back of a pickup truck with a couple 40 ounces.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
You could duct tape them to my hands if you want.
That's romance to you. Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
Joe, you're really lucky here. I'm sorry, Pod Mom. I'm sorry, Jess. Well, what do you think? What's your idea of romance?
I mean, it just kind of depends on the experience at the restaurant, whether it, feels romantic or not. Or like, I don't know. It should be an experience at the restaurant. If you want us to
want
go
stuff
out.
on fire?
Not necessarily.
You want the lights down low?
I want it to be like Justine's. I want to feel like I'm in an Indiana Jones movie.
Shout out Justine's, Austin, Texas. It's a lovely French restaurant.
Oh, never been to Texas.
We got listeners in Texas.
We have one.
Yeah, shout out Texas.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Yeah, like 11% of our
2%, but
we'll yeah, it's different. Yeah, sure.
Well, I think to your point, Pod Mom, I think that going out.
Wait.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Is this romantic right now?
I'm turned on. Are you not?
I mean, I'm only half torqued.
But I think when you travel, right, things are elevated. You're having different experiences than if you go to the same restaurant.
The novelty of travel is an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I agree.
But I think that I don't think romance is dead, to answer your initial question.
Yeah.
I like to be wined and dined. I think that's romantic. It doesn't have to be.
Who doesn't like to be wined and dined?
And it doesn't even have to be like, call me crazy, but I could get excited over a cheeseburger and a cold beer. Like that to me, it's just like if you're with your person or whatever, I think that's nice.
Yeah.
Do I like to have like a nice Italian meal too? Split a bottle of wine? Of course.
Is that the most romantic food to you? Italian food?
That or sushi.
Sushi, like proper sushi, not Midwest sushi.
Right.
There's
a really good place that we want to take you to in Cleveland. It's in Ohio, or it's in Tremont. It's called Ginkgo. Shout out Ginkgo. It's really good. They get their
sponsor us.
They get their fish shipped in every day, but it's like you go and it's underground in the basement.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's just like a whole experience. It's a tiny little sushi bar. You sit, as soon as you walk in, they say the sushi chefs all greet you. They're right there. It's a U-shaped sushi bar, and you can sit around it, and everybody's right there. There's only like 4 tables outside of it, and it's like a very intimate, fun experience. They do like really good tropical cocktails, crazy whole fried fish meals, just wild stuff that you wouldn't normally have.
Sushi boats.
Yeah, it's really good. Excellent place. So that's romantic. We like to go to that place. There's a place here in town that I like too. I wouldn't necessarily say it's romantic, but
a sushi place. Okay. I normally don't eat seafood this far inland, just because there's not a lot of places that do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm here, I'm going to get ranch dressing and hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Not sushi.
Yeah.
Ranch dressing and hot dogs.
You're gonna have French on your hot dog?
Sure.
That's
Why not?
America,
I don't really like ranch dressing. We're just going down another tangent here. Like, it's not bad, but it is the least of all dressings, in my opinion.
It needs to know its place. which is not on a salad.
It's not on a salad. Like, what's the proper application of ranch dressing?
Just like
maybe
hot chicken wings.
A chicken wing. That's what I was
You
gonna
dip a
say.
chicken wing in it, and
But
then
I would prefer blue cheese.
Well, I don't like blue cheese, so
Yeah,
I go with the ranch.
I don't. I think that the American people like it on their pizza. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's mostly a Midwest thing. Like,
Can I
it's
say too? Like,
wait, people put it on their pizza?
You've never heard of that?
They dip it in their pizza.
Oh, like Papa John's, like used to give. No, that was the butter, but they
Yeah,
would give you
that's
ranch
Yeah,
too,
That's
they have,
right?
shredded
they have
butter,
ranch
baby.
now.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah.
They have ranch now. Papa John's.
Oh,
and
fuck me. Okay, of course they do.
I, to be honest with you, like, I do not understand ranch as a whole. I don't get it. I think it's like, if I'm not going to put it on a carrot, if I was stranded on a desert island and it was like, you could dip this carrot in the sand or you could dip it in ranch, maybe then I would choose the ranch. But it's like a watered down cheesy liquid, right?
It is, yeah.
There's no flavor to it. There's no consistency. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like vinaigrettes if I'm doing dressings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to put it on salad. I want to put it on
Caesar
vegetables.
all the way.
Caesar, well, proper Caesars. Caesars out of a jar are fucking. It's actually a crime, and you can tell. But
But you also like the Caesar vinaigrette,
Yeah. A
which
more
I think you
oily
prefer.
version.
Than the creamy one.
a lady I dated had a really good idea. She's not from Ohio. She said, she wanted to basically, whenever she met a friend at the airport to come and see her, she wanted to hand him a bottle of ranch and just be like, "Well, welcome to Ohio.
Welcome to
like
Midwest.
a welcome, yeah.
Welcome to
It's
the
just,
Midwest."
here's your Midwest starter pack. It's a bottle of ranch, which I think is a really good idea.
And a Busch Light.
I think they should steer into that.
Yeah.
Like at CMH.
And a Iroquois.
If it's at
And an
CMH, they have to
Iroquois.
hand them Iroquois, Budweiser,
Well, and ranch.
and ranch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
it
mean,
should be
I would
part of the
rather
pack.
drink the ranch than the Budweiser, but that's just a personal preference.
I think people that are putting ranch on their pizza have a more important problem, and that's that their pizza tastes like shit.
Yeah, that is a
Well, if you're
really
from the
bad
Midwest,
sign.
you've had Donato's.
Donato's. Who likes Donato?
Donatos used to be good.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't.
Not
agree,
romantic, though.
but- No.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we first started dating and I got you a heart-shaped
Mm.
pizza for Valentine's Day?
Shout out Papa John's.
Wow.
It's probably the most romantic thing I've ever done for you.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
Oh. Well, wait, what's the most romantic thing he's ever done for you?
Yeah,
Ooh,
I need you to let me know that.
I don't think there's like one thing that sticks out. I mean, he's done a lot of nice stuff. I'm also an awful person to be with, I think. I'm one of those girls that's like, don't give me flowers, but I'm like, why the fuck aren't you getting me flowers? Like, I love to like act like I'll be like, oh, like even today. Okay, so this is stupid, but today our apartment is like above our garage that we park in, right? So when the garage door opens, there's a sound and you could hear it. It's like it's a garage door opening. But we're also above our neighbor's garage, okay? So we were in our apartment together and I heard the garage door opening and I was like, oh, what is that? Is that my surprise? And he's like, yeah. So
Surprise, it's the neighbor.
So I'm an asshole to be with, I think.
Yeah. So
Let's get
romantic.
some refills.
Is it time? Are we at? Oh, wow! Look at the time. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna take a little drink break and then we'll come back and we'll
Drink
talk.
break.
We'll talk more about love.
Drink break.
All right. So this is Joe from Bottomless Bar. I want to tell you a little bit about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, MySpace Podcasts. I don't know who the fuck does podcasts anymore, but it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. And this is your mandatory call to action. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right, so we're coming back from drink break.
Yeah, coming back from drink break. We had 3 tonight, and I wanted to do something special for Valentine's Day. And, basically, I almost got you guys Valentines, to be honest. I almost did, yeah. Yeah, I almost went and got...
Oh, you almost bought us, actual paper Valentines?
I almost got you guys Valentines, yeah. I was thinking about it. And, but I didn't know... Well, honestly, I just want this, I'm a service person. I'm entertaining you and where I live. I want it to be comfortable. I want you guys to have a good time when you come over here and do this. And
you do. So, I like coming over here.
Yeah, and that's part of it. That's part of the, I don't want to say entertainer, but yeah, maybe entertainer, right?
Yeah.
I want to.
You're the host.
I want to have an experience,
You're the
right?
hostess with the mostest.
So I came up with 3 drinks, and they're all the color of blood, or love, or hearts,
or murder,
Caprina. So the first one we had, it's one of your favorites, right? Mm-hmm. It's El Diablo. I think the original name was the Mexican or Mexicana El Diablo. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's something like that. An older drink. It's probably 50, 70 years old. There's a few variations on it. You can build it in a glass. It's one of those where you can, you don't have to shake or stir, but you can if you want. I shook ours tonight, and it's 1.5 ounces. I served it, on the rocks and basically a Collins glass. Mm-hmm. Sorry. I'm running out of breath.
Oh my God. Can we get this guy some oxygen?
I know, right? I need a mask. So it's 1.5 ounces of Reposado Espolón, Reposado tequila. I think I did 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. I shook it, poured it over the ice in the Collins glass, and then I topped it with Boylan's ginger soda, ginger beer, ginger ale, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And then I did a little creme de cassis right on top, which is basically a really thick grape liqueur. Yeah, so how would you describe the flavor profile of an El Diablo? It's very similar.
I feel like people can relate to it. It's similar to a Moscow Mule,
mm-hmm.
a light liqueur and a bubbly ginger beer. It's refreshing. It's a little bit sweet when you get that currant.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say that?
Oh yeah, black currant liqueur. That's what exactly. The creme de cassis. Did I say grape?
No, I think you just said creme de cassis.
Okay, yeah.
Black currant
yes.
liqueur. So that is
not
sweet.
Currant.
No, though I've said that. It's a little bit sweet on the sweeter side. So, but you just do a little float. So it's just you get this nice balance of citrus and ginger beer, and the tequila really is not there. It's
really not there.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous.
Served in the Collins glass, there's more ginger beer, right? Than you would. The place I've worked in places where we basically serve it on a big cube, and put everything in the glass over the big cube, and then top it with ginger beer.
There's just a splash of ginger beer.
Essentially, so it's a little bit boozier. But this way, you don't really get all of that booze. You're not going to get smashed on it right out of the way. Mm-hmm. Not like our second drink that we had.
Second drink was dangerous.
Second drink was very dangerous. It's kind of a play on a Manhattan. Mm-hmm. It's named after a boxer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the Deschler, right? The Deschler drink. And what it is 2 ounces of rye bourbon, rye whiskey, and should I have it written down here? I can't remember. And then it's 1 ounce of Lillet Rouge. It originally called for Dubonnet Rouge. The recipe, the place where it was made, got lost in World War II. So Lillet Rouge is a really good... Well, I should say, this is kind of a bastardization of the original Deschler. So I'll finish what we put in it. So it's 2 ounces of rye rye whiskey, 1 ounce of Lillet Rouge, a half ounce of dry Curacao, and 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters.
And you put grenadine in it too, right?
No, not this one. That's
okay.
not the Deschler.
Sorry.
But
I'm
the
jumping
one
ahead.
we're drinking now, you're jumping ahead. But the Deschler is a spirit cocktail. There's no juice in that, and if you remember me mentioning this before, you shake anything with juice in it, right? Anything that's like spirit is stirred. So the original Deschler is shaken, and we did not do it that way. I stirred it, and I stirred it on ice, obviously, with slivers of orange and lemon. And the Lillet Rouge it's a fortified wine, I guess, to oversimplify it. What'd you think of that one?
It was really good. I didn't realize that Lillet Rouge was a wine.
Yes, yeah.
So that was surprising to me. You know, I've seen it on shelves places. I've never personally worked with it, so that was a surprise to me, but it was really good. The Deschler is almost like a little like winey Manhattan, if you will.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
I really got the wine like in like the aftertaste of it. Very boozy, very booze forward.
It was kind of juicy.
Yeah.
It was nice and juicy.
Like it was almost like thick.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Just it was like a heavier drink, but it was good. I didn't like chug it down as much as I would with like our third drink.
Oh, our third drink is, I'd never had this before tonight. And it is a quality drink, and I am regretting all the wasted years prior to tonight. Like I should have been drinking this years ago. But no, the Deschler is a good drink. It's a solid drink. I recommend it was stirred rather than shaken. I recommend that preparation. I think if it would have been shaken, we might do that at another time. It'll thin it out a bit, and you'll lose that nice body and richness to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, this, rye whiskey, Lillet Rouge, Curacao is not the original recipe. It's slightly different so this is kind of a fast mill of what the original Deschler was. This is kind of an updated version. But our third drink is...
What a special episode this is.
I know, this is crazy. And you know what? I'm still not as drunk as I was last week, even after 3 drinks. But we still have time. The night is young.
The night is young.
So our third drink is a Jack Rose. The Jack Rose, it's a 3-ingredient drink, not a 3-drink drink.
You said it's a 3-drink cocktail.
It's a 3-drink cocktail.
Like,
yeah.
We've had
What?
3.
You're supposed to drink it in 3 drinks. But it's 2 ounces of Applejack. It's 3/4 of an ounce of grenadine and 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon.
And what was the Applejack that we used?
Oh, it's a local thing. It's
Watershed?
Watershed, yes. It's their apple brandy. And I'm pretty sure, because it doesn't say it anywhere on the label that I've seen, it's 100% apple brandy. You can get a lot of other products out there, like Jack Daniel's Apple, or like, the bigger name, like Apple things. And
like Crown Royal.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll say, 20% apples or plus apple flavoring, stuff like that. I specifically avoided those for this drink because, it's a classic drink, and Applejack is it doesn't get more Americana as far as spirits go than Applejack. And so we used the Watershed apple brandy. This cocktail is shaken, has juice in it, and it's served up in a chilled. We did it in a chilled coupe and garnished it with an orange peel, and it is super easy drinking. I love this thing. I'm gonna have a couple more, I think, before I go to sleep tonight.
I would like to have another one after this.
And hopefully, we
might have 2 drink breaks tonight, and I think that we deserve them.
2 drink breaks.
3 cocktails. We deserve it.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Just so that people know that we don't have a bartender here shaking these cocktails for us.
We are doing this all ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing this all.
I help.
once so
was-
far. Oh, well, yeah.
And
Okay.
I was washing the dishes. I was doing something.
You did wash the dishes. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
great. You're great.
But this is lovely. It reminds me of a paper plane a little bit.
A little bit.
Just that like citrus, bourbon-y. I know that's not bourbon, but same, like similar profile. It's really good.
Yeah.
And you said there was a lot of famous writers that used to drink these guys, so maybe that's why they were so, you know,
So into this, it's it's delicious.
that's
but
why they were so successful.
apparently John Steinbeck, if no one's familiar, Grapes of Wrath,
Of Mice and Men.
of Mice and Men. Yeah, great movie.
Hemingway.
Yeah, Hemingway mentioned it in one of his books, and he was a fan as well. But I think Applejack kind of lost its. I think sometime in the 50s, people started drinking gin and like vodka and stuff like that, and that became chic. And Applejack kind of lost its pizzazz or whatever. It lost its market share.
Yeah, I mean,
you
to
know?
be honest with you, I didn't really know much about it. I think my grandpa drank brandy growing up, but I didn't really know much about it until Watershed came out with the apple
Yeah,
brandy. So
yeah.
shout out
And-
Watershed.
And I think an OG is Laird's apple brandy. But I've had Laird's before, and it just tastes like whiskey to me. Watershed's apple brandy,
You could taste the apple.
it tastes like a fucking apple.
Yeah.
It's really good. Honestly, Watershed, call me.
Yeah, call us.
Like, I will sing your praises all day and all night.
Ohio grown apples.
Is that true?
Yeah, it says it on the bottom.
Oh, okay. I didn't look that
There's a
closely,
lot
but
of apple farms in Ohio.
yeah, well, yeah, it's something like number 4.
I mean, I grew up a few miles from one. Big one.
Okay. So I mean, you didn't try any of these drinks, which, if you're gonna keep on the mic, then you have to drink with us.
I'm sorry, somebody has to support local breweries on this podcast.
That's true. That's true. Or maybe it's not true. I don't know. Fuck the local breweries. I mean, they're nice, but
yeah, it's not like we worked at one or
It's
anything.
yeah, I've never worked at one in my life.
Shout out Land Grant. Fruit slices. Delicious.
Yeah, never had it. Never had it.
Joe keeps Land Grant in business.
Yeah, I just don't drink a lot of beer. Pod Mom keeps them in business. I don't necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this apple brandy, it's just fucking good.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's super easy drink and drink.
Super easy. Drink and drink.
Drink and
Yeah.
drink. If someone took you to Macaroni Grill, is that a romantic date for you?
Honestly, like I said earlier, I am very turned on by pasta and wine.
What if they?
So, yeah, I think.
By pasta and wine, those are typically get you going.
And a bread basket sends me
Unlimited
into a stratosphere.
bread. Oh, and you like to color on shit, right? So to write on the tablecloths, that's another thing for you.
Yeah.
Well, I know
So-
where I'm taking you next year for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. This should have been on the how to sleep with your bartender pod.
Take 'em to
but
Valentine-
yeah,
take 'em to
Macaroni
Macaroni
Grill. Yeah, exactly. What if you're out on a first date and people started stealing shit? Is that another turn on for you? You like kleptos, don't you? You said you like bad boys. What if they're like,
I do.
fucking,
I do
what's
like-
it, this, fucking Betty sitting next to us. She's paying for our meal tonight.
Okay, no. So I think maybe I need to like readdress my definition of bad boy. Like the bad boys that I was with were like I'm gonna take you on my motorcycle and we're gonna get tacos from a food truck. Like that was bad. And then like I'm gonna ghost you.
Dude, that's my whole, well, except the ghosting, but that's like, motorcycles and food trucks. That's like my whole brand. Yeah. Well, like, you guys have been dating for a long time. I mean, a lot of your adult lives. Or life. I was going to say, like, did you have, like, first date spots? Like, if you were trying to get laid, did you have, like, a place? Like, you were trying to, like, you knew it was, like, a winner.
I will say, yeah. When I started, so it's sort of like an awkward timeline, right? Because like we met my senior year of college. So like the dates that I went on during college were like, you know, not nice dates necessarily. I mean, I had like guys
Not
take me to
like
nice places.
dates, right? Like,
Not like dinner.
yeah.
Just
yeah.
drinks.
Sure.
I liked to take people to Dick's Den. Shout out Dick's Den.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Call us.
A little.
Why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hashtag why not?
I would never take a lady to Dick's Den.
Oh, a little. Listen, I feel like I already touched on this, how easily entertained I am, but you go to Dick's Den, you get a little jazz music, you get a little Old Crow and cola. I forget what the name brand of cola they use there is.
Is it RC?
It might be RC, but
Or is it?
you could go to Dick's Den during their happy hour and literally get a double of Old Crow and cola for like $2.50, a double. So we're talking.
If you order enough of them and you finish the bottle, you get it for free.
They'll give you the last one for free. So we're talking. Obviously, we've been there together. We're talking jazz music. We're talking cheap drinks. We're talking fucking pool.
This
you know?
is
the game of pool. It's all you need.
I do like pool, not for a first date though.
I like darts for a first date. I beat his ass in darts. One of our first
That was our
dates.
second date. We played
Pizza,
darts.
pizza
Did you
and
let her
darts.
win?
No.
No, I used to be very competitive, and
Used to be?
Can I tell you? I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I used to be very competitive when I was having an off night.
Yeah, true.
What? You're not competitive anymore?
I try not to be. It's a toxic trait of mine.
I went on a date. This is years ago now, many years. I went on a date with this lady. I took her. So there's a few spots around town that I will take first dates, and
Can you shout him out?
well, there's one in particular that I mean, I go there when I'm not on a date, you know, and it's called Mi Li, capital M-I, capital L-I. It's a Vietnamese place. It's authentically Vietnamese. Like, there's no options to get things like not spicy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Asian people that actually eat there, and sometimes shitty Americans like me go there. But, you know, food's a little gamey. It's absolutely delicious. I absolutely love this place. I'm a big fan of noodles. Anyways, it happens to be really close to the Columbus Bowling Palace. Columbus Bowling Palace. It used to be open 24 hours. It's not anymore. But it was really nice to go there, mealy, get dinner. It's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit, you know, like, I mean, you just don't know.
It's exotic.
A little bit. Yeah, exactly. And just enough, right? And it's like spicy. It's a little uncomfortable. You get to kind of see how people are going to interact with that stuff. And then go bowling right after that, right?
That's cool.
Get a full belly and then go bowling.
Then go get a pitcher of beer.
And then go get a pitcher of beer, drink some Irish whiskey.
What's
You know
not
what
to
I mean?
like?
Yeah, exactly, right? You know, it's the whole thing. And that's you know, it's fun for me, and that's how I think about first dates. It's like, well, I want to have a good time outside of this, and hopefully this person will too. Well, anyways, I went on this date, and I met this lady at Mealy. As soon as I walk in the door, like, I can tell she was like disappointed to see me. So I was like, well, I don't care. Like, maybe I can still turn this around. We'll get a couple drinks in her and see what happens, and you know, whatever. So then we go bowling, and I'm not a terrible bowler. I'm very streaky. But this particular night, I was having a great fucking night. And I think I rolled like 6 strikes in a row or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And she had...
Isn't that a turkey?
It's a double turkey.
It's 2 turkeys. It's 2 turkeys.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, exactly. And she was... I don't even think she had broken 60 at this point in the game. And... you know, I was just letting them fly, and I remember turning around. I hit a strike, and I turned around, and she was, like, pissed. I could tell she was pissed. And I was like, well, you finish the game? Do you want to play another? She was like, no. I was like, well, you want to get a drink at the bar? She was like, no. I was like, are you okay? Are you all right? You know? She was like, oh, I think I'm just a little tired. But I could tell. But at this point, I was just kind of like, well, I'm having a great time, so let's just finish the game.
Yeah.
And you know, and she'd begrudging, and you could tell like her whole body language had changed. You know, she wasn't really winging the ball. She was like, she wasn't engaging me in conversation anymore. Like she was just having a bad time, and I was fucking crushing her at bowling.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I ended up taking her home, and well, I mean, I dropped her off at her house. She had made.
Like, wow. that
Yeah, I
took a
know.
turn.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
you really
exactly.
turned it around.
I did not.
Good for you. You must have really won her over in the car.
It was the Nissan that I was driving at
Yeah.
the time. Chicks dig Nissans. But
I didn't know you were such a bowler. We should have done that.
yeah,
should-
well, there's still time. But there isn't time,
There's
actually.
there's a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Maybe we go after this.
Yeah, I'm into it. I ain't doing shit tomorrow morning. Yeah, so like I have first date spots. Like that I like to take people. You know?
I think it's fun to incorporate games in first dates. Because it's like you need to loosen up a little bit, you know, like you need something to distract you from just like sitting across the table from someone like eating or drinking. I think you start to like get their personality better.
Well, and it's good not to. First dates have a way of like devolving into interviews, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's a slippery slope, and it's hard to recover from that. Well, the place you and I worked together, it was a really popular first date spot. It still is,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it's got a good little like cozy vibe to it.
It does. It's like this shabby chic like place, and you know, there's plants all around. It's really nice, and you know, again, product's good. I happen to think service is good, but I don't know. I'm questioning it lately. Anyways, I've seen a lot of first dates there, and they normally go well. And I think there's some people that have used that, like that's their go-to spot. Like
Yeah.
you have experience with one in particular.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's there's this guy, not like whatever. Like I'm not gonna like bash this guy.
Or fucking bash him.
In his appearance, but he was just like not. I mean, he was not a very.
Oh wait! Is it the tall guy? Is he like really really tall?
Yeah.
And then like
Stout.
kind of shaped like a bowling pin.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking
Like a
about.
bowling
He
pin.
still comes in.
Does he still act like it's his first date?
Not that I've noticed.
Is he with someone?
Always someone different. This
Okay.
dude is really popular with the ladies.
Okay, so I don't know what sort of dating app this guy's on, but like, I hope that he's paying for it, you know, because they'd be doing very well. But so this guy would come in, and like I'm talking once a week, you know, once every 2 weeks, like very frequent.
Yeah.
And like frequent enough that I knew his name, you know, when I would like look for his credit card. And every time he came in,
But he's tall. He is very tall. I mean, at least 6'4",
He's
but
very-
probably taller.
yeah, he's very noticeable.
Yes.
Yes. I think that customers go places and they think, oh, this person's not going to know who I am. And that's not correct. We always know who you are.
Well, sometimes.
We know who you are. I might not know your name right off the bat, but like I know what your credit card looks like. You know? That's
We're
how.
watching you.
That's.
Yeah.
That's how. I'm so glad you're here.
We see everything.
I used to fuck with people and they'd be like, wow, I can't believe you remembered my name. And I'd be like, yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
My top fell.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is bottomless
This is
bar.
your second reminder that this is bottomless bar.
Not topless.
If you want a topless bar, start your own fucking podcast, all right? So,
I'm gonna reserve the
that's
handle on
the
Instagram.
OnlyFans topless bar.
Okay, so anyways, I would always joke around with people like, yeah, like I know what your credit card looks like, I know the color of it, I know the bank that you're with, I know your last name, and I know the last 4 digits of your credit card number. And they'd be like, oh shit, like don't fuck with me. Anyway, so this guy, this bowling pin man, let's call him Pin.
Pin.
He he would come in, and every time he would act like it was his first time in the bar, and I would see this guy very frequently, okay, and he always drank our most popular beer, and he would walk up to the bar and he'd be like, the girl would be like, what do you think you're gonna get? And he'd be like, well, I heard that this beer's good. And then every once in a while, he would ask me for a taste for it. The audacity of a
Bold.
man. The audacity. He would come in he could probably, whatever, like explain every freaking flavor profile of this beer. He drank it so often, and he'd be like, I don't know what I'll get. I can't decide. And
Is there something to that?
To
As,
what?
as like a woman, like a...
Would I have been offended if he was like, I come here often?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense.
What
right?
if you found out after the fact that he had actually been there like 3,000 times with other women prior to you? Like, say
It
the
would be
relationship
worse.
works
It'd be
out.
worse.
Yeah.
It'd be worse.
Is that a deal breaker?
Yeah, it'd be worse.
What kind of guy lies about going to a bar a bunch of times?
Like he's got nothing to be ashamed of, right? Like it's just a bar. It's just his watering hole.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So that was always really funny. This guy would walk in and of course, as a bartender, I never called him out on it, right? Like I could have been like, oh, hey, Pin, how's it going? Haven't seen you since last week.
Did you ever think about it?
I did think about it. I
Like,
did.
Oh, hey, good to see you again.
Yeah.
Just say something like that,
Yeah.
right, in passing. Yeah.
What's up, Chad? That's a new girl.
Right, exactly. Oh, who's the lucky lady this week? Yeah, that'd put a pin in him, right? Huh. Well, I've made the mistake in the past of, there's essentially 2 bars in town that I've spent the majority of my time in that I haven't ever worked in. It's like where I like to go and hang out. And one of the bars, I have made the mistake, I'll say this, I've made the mistake of taking someone on a first date to this place that I love going to. And when I say like I love going there, I mean I'm in there 3 times a week, minimum, like average lifetime, right? I've made the mistake of taking a young lady, a woman, with me to this place, and then them, it not working out between her and I for whatever reason.
And they go back.
But then they're there all the time. I don't advise that. So I wait. I always, now I have a different approach to relationships. This is, 100 years ago, but now now it doesn't matter because I'm an emotional void and I don't care about anything. So
Honestly, that's the worst part about dating. Like before Pod Mom, you date people that you have stuff in common with, right?
Yeah.
You like the same music, likely. You have similar interests. So he's been in uncomfortable situations where we've been in bars, and it was like a bar that I've met the person at that I dated, and I would go in there and that person's there, and it's like, oh my God,
Well, this is something really interesting, actually. And now that you have a mic, I get to ask you and get an answer. So I would say Carl here is an attractive lady, right?
she's all
Bartender, right? You've had a fair amount of attention behind the bar, right? How do you feel about that? Dating an attractive bartender. Have you, this may be a little bit of advice to people out there, right? Could be an addendum to, How to Sleep with Your Bartender, episode 3. But, did you have issue with that when she started working in the bar? How did you deal with that, if you did?
No, I didn't really have an issue.
No?
I'm not a super jealous person.
That's really good, and you need that actually to date a female bartender because they just get a ton of attention, as you well know.
He was always really good about it, though. I closed quite often. So he would come in.
Late nights?
So he would come in and sit at the bar while I was closing. Just because, this is another tangent for another day maybe, but, as a female, there's a lot of, you feel like...
So loud. I'm sorry. I had a little itch there.
Like a gorilla.
It's a little bit scary to close a bar by
Yeah,
yourself.
you know, there's money involved, there's security, it's like yada, yada, yada. And the place that we worked at is very wide open. So I always felt a little bit, you know,
Vulnerable.
vulnerable is a good
Sure.
word for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and we also, you know, like not to whatever, like harp on things, but our schedules were opposite. So it was also like another hour of the day for us to connect,
Yeah.
you know, when he would come into the bar.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was grateful for that. But I could remember there were times where, you know, like a guy that would like normally come in, not that, I mean, I think that as a bartender, a lot of times you're unintentionally flirting with people, right?
Yes.
You're just like being a little like chatty, like, yeah, and sometimes.
Well, and you're
And-
friendly, sarcastic.
Yeah, I'm not talking
you know?
about like putting my chi-chis on the bar. I'm just like,
Right.
the friendly sarcasticness that happens. And I could just remember there are times where like you were sitting there and I was like worried that you would get mad, but you never did.
That's honestly, that's really good. Well, we had a workmate that started dating someone that came into the bar. And you remember that whole scenario.
Yeah.
You could watch his body language change as the shift went on. You've seen that. You've seen that as well, right? You could.
Oh, yeah.
You could see this man just start questioning himself, this insecurity, and that's, you know, if you're going to date an attractive female bartender or just an attractive bartender, you have to really like get some thick skin.
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if I could do it, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You haven't been in a similar scenario, but reversed. You've never been in that.
No, I think that I have to fight some bitches.
That's
Well, there were a couple times when I would just be sitting at the bar while you were working, and you would get jealous of like
Really?
women talking to me. Yeah, I, like you said earlier, am very innocent. I didn't pick up on it. It was just like I was just talking because I didn't have anything else to do. I was just sitting there on my phone.
You're just being friendly.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy. You're a good-looking guy. I must say.
Oh, you look like me. Just kidding.
I think you're a better-looking guy than I am personally. Seriously.
Yeah, we don't have to go down this path, but you're both good-looking people.
Well, thank you, but I think to your point, like you look a little bit like Daniel Day-Lewis,
Oh my
right?
god.
Wow.
Don't you think?
I would never have said that, but I'm into Daniel Day-Lewis.
Don't you think?
Most of the time, I just get Brody Jenner.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's a douchebag.
I don't know who that is.
Well, he means well. Caitlyn Jenner, previously known as
Bruce.
Bruce Jenner, their son is Brody Jenner. He was on reality TV, doesn't really matter.
Okay, yeah, I'm
But
not hip to that.
you've never heard the story about the time that he was working, or I was working, and he was there on New Year's Eve, and this chick was hitting on him?
No.
Okay, so New Year's Eve, bars...
Wait, at what point did you realize that she was hitting on
He
you?
didn't.
I never did.
Never did.
She spotted it from across the bar.
So it's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. The bar's packed. I remember
People were drinking,
There,
yeah.
he got there at a decent hour, and I was like, "Oh, whatever. Get here early. Get a seat at the bar, because we would get packed, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So he got there early, sat by himself at the bar to be with me, and this chick was all night hitting on him. Like, would come up, order a bar, and I think she was with someone, a man,
She was.
and would come up, like, weasel her way next to him, or she was paying cash, and would get a beer, and she bought him a beer,
Oh.
and was tipping very nicely, okay? To a point where I was pissed. I was, like, getting really upset. Like, what the fuck?
So wait,
you know?
why were you upset?
Because this chick was flirting with him. She was like, he's sitting...
But she's tipping you.
Right.
Is that... Wait, how much...
Yeah,
How much do we have to tip you to
get to him?
fuck your man?
A lot? Let's just say a fucking lot.
100% of the bill? 300% of the bill?
You'd have to tip me. I don't want to put a dollar. I don't want to put a dollar on it. I don't want to put a dollar on it.
Do I get a say in this?
No.
How much would you like? How much would you like me to get paid for you to sleep with a customer?
It would have to be a decent amount.
Like $1 million?
Joe, don't answer that.
100,000?
It's a trap.
It's potentially less than $1 million.
Okay.
Make her answer it.
Okay, let's not say. I can't say. But let's
Well, in our previously mentioned tipping paradigm,
Joe, I don't know. I don't know if I can put a dollar on it. Okay? You can get.
you are so squirmy right now. I love it.
Well, it's like you know, like I would say that I'm like a relatively materialistic person.
Yeah.
You give me, if you want to sleep with my man, buy me a Range Rover, okay? Buy it for me.
Okay.
So that's like at least $150,000.
So how much those fucking things cost?
Yes.
God, they're garbage. They're shit cars.
Okay.
Anyways,
So
so this lady,
Cost that much.
they don't.
like 70.
Call me out.
You
Call
can
me
get
out.
one for like 65, 70,000.
Okay, well the one
Is that
I
like the
want-
bare bones version without the
Yeah.
radio and no AC? And like,
The radio and the AC, those are built in now.
oh, okay, fair.
Well, I want the one that's 100,000. Okay, thank you. So, anyways, back to my story. He's like, okay, so he's sitting at the bar, right? And she comes in and she's like this up against him, right? Like she's like.
Oh, do
this-
you remember this?
She's this.
I don't
way.
think it was like that, but
Anyways,
I'm not the best narrator
To
to
weasel
this
her way
story.
into the bar, she's like up against him, right?
Don't.
I'm got it. She's like, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you. And so, whatever, she's tipping us nicely, and it got to a point where a female bartender that I was working with, that I actually liked, was like,
Oh.
so it wasn't Bad Nina.
Right.
She was like, Kara, like, you gotta suck it up. Like,
So wait, she noticed it too.
She goes, you gotta suck it up. You just, this girl's tipping us nicely. Like, it'll be okay. Like, it's just for the night type of thing. And I'm like, we gotta be fucking kidding me.
Wait.
I'm at my work and I have to be abused for a couple dollars?
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, I
Well, how about you? I mean, like, you've dated women that have come in to see you at work. Have you ever been in uncomfortable situations where the woman that you're dating is sitting at the bar and some other person is hitting on you?
yes.
And how do they handle it?
Yes. Well, in most recent memory, it's gone off, basically without a hitch, and I think that I'm just going to credit myself and say that I've chosen wisely in that regard. But there were times in my now distant past where, I've had several, we'll say up to 3 different people in one place that I've worked where I've seen them or they've seen me in varying states of undress.
At one given time.
And literally in one night while I'm working.
All 3 people are there.
3.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Were they all there to see you?
They were, yes.
Were you seeing them all at the same time?
I was not. No.
Okay.
Because I don't fuck around like that, honestly. I mean, I'm fucking lazy.
I gotta ask.
No, of
It's,
course,
you
of
know.
course. But, I'm lazy. So when it comes to like multiple women, that's never been my thing.
Yeah.
Right? But there have been scenarios in the past where, maybe someone I'll just say this one particular instance. So someone on staff working with me that I had relations with. We'd had sex a couple times working with me. And then a lady I was currently seeing sitting at the bar, chit-chatting with me, visiting with me. Mm-hmm. And then a lady that I had previously seen also sitting at the bar with someone that they're with now also sitting at the bar.
Damn.
Yeah, which is
Fun?
no,
Fun for you?
no, not fun. It's a little crazy, but I mean, what do you do with that situation?
Well, I mean,
right?
we've talked about this on previous episodes. I normally go and sit in the kitchen on the floor and say, let me know when they're gone. I cannot show my face.
Well, my position is that I expect everyone to be adults, right?
Good for you.
And if they don't react that way, that's not necessarily on me. That this methodology hasn't worked out for me. Mm-hmm. And I think you may have witnessed, again, a couple of scenarios play out.
Yeah.
Not that well for me. Mm-hmm. But I think, again, I don't lie to people. I don't mislead them. Sometimes, I've ghosted people. And the thing is that, I try to tell people, like I had a lady, I don't eat in my bed. I do sometimes, but if I'm really drunk, go ahead, Joe.
If you're really drunk, you eat in your bed? Tell us more.
Yeah, well, it's mostly cheese, right? And sometimes dry cereal. But I had a lady come see me. She had already been out. She was lit. She brought McDonald's. She was in my bed. I was like, well, let's go out to the kitchen, and then you can eat, and I'll get you a napkin, and you can do what you want out there. And she was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, no, we're going to the kitchen. And then she took like a fry and ate it, and I watched salt almost in slow motion fall into the bed, and then roll into the crevice where I was laying, right? The depression where I was. And I was like, you gotta go. It's time for you to go. I walked her to the door. She was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. And I never called her again. Yeah. That was it. I essentially had ghosted her at that point, but I had tried to level with her. And my perspective is, well, if you want to be this way, that's fine. Totally cool. I'm not going to try to change you.
Not with me.
But
Get the fuck out.
But not with me. Exactly.
I
yeah.
respect that. I'm actually anti outside clothes in the bed. I don't like any clothes that...
Like jeans.
Yeah, anything you've worn outside. Even if you were outside of the grocery store in sweatpants, I would not ask for you to wear those under my sheets.
Okay.
Outside clothes do not go inside the bed.
Yeah, fair
I'm
enough.
also not allowed to sit on the bed in my outside clothes.
Correct.
Okay.
So you will absolutely never be putting your outside salt French fries inside my bed.
Yeah, well, I think it was in that moment. Again, it's my bed. I can do what I want with it. But it's not like I'm having whole fucking meals in my bed, right? Mm-hmm. I just want, and I gave her other options, right? And I felt like there was a lot of prelude to this particular scenario with her, because we had been seeing each other for a while now at this point, and I tried to say, well, here, let's get up and go out here so you can finish your food. And she was like, it was the challenge in her eyes, right? It was she looked at me. She was
probably thought she was being hot and sexy. She was like, come eat these fries with me out of my mouth.
She was definitely, I'm pretty sure.
Off my nipples.
I may be misremembering this a bit. This is a while ago now. But I eat a lot of vegetables, and there's usually always vegetables in my refrigerator. She went and picked a leaf off of this head of romaine that I had and put it on my arm, and then ate it off my arm while I was in bed. And I was like, it was literally I would just felt my blood pressure rising.
Was this after the French fry incident?
This was pre-French fry.
Okay.
This was literally 2 minutes. She was challenging me. I was like, well, please don't eat in my bed. Don't.
She might have had some sort of food fetish. Food.
Yeah, but not in my bed.
Fetish.
Yeah, not in my bed though.
Okay. I mean,
we can do that. We can do that in her bed.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
And I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Or at least let me get some fucking linoleum sheets. I don't know what the fuck.
With those plastic covers from the couch.
A tarp. Let me get a tarp.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on a second. Let me go out to the garage. I have something just for this.
At least let me put the picnic blanket down.
Right. Let me get the bad sheets. But that wasn't, she had this challenge in her eyes, and I was like, okay, bitch, we're done.
Let's tussle.
Yeah. But like not in a sexy way.
Yeah, no.
Anyways,
I don't think anybody has ever been sexy while eating McDonald's.
Not even, yeah. I was going to say, you said McDonald's. I was going to say, not even George Costanza.
Jason Alexander didn't eat the McDonald's in that commercial.
He could also do no wrong, really.
No.
No, yeah, call us. So wait, how are you guys feeling at this moment?
I think we should have another drink break.
Another drink break? Yeah, number 2, unprecedented.
Is that excessive?
Yes, but this is Bottomless Bar. Yeah, let's take another break and get another drink.
Let's get overserved.
Yeah, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, Pod Mom?
I feel good.
You have to have one of these.
Yeah, I think you should.
All right.
That's
The people at Landgren are not going to like it.
That's all right. Tell them to call me. Okay, yeah. You're on.
All right, we're coming back from drink break numero 2.
Unprecedented. Second drink break.
We've been extra thirsty. I don't know if it's Pod Mom's presence or what, but we've been extra thirsty today.
Well, we're trying to sauce them up a bit.
Yeah.
Trying to sauce them up.
I'm always here, guys. I just
Well-
don't ever have a microphone in front of me.
But you're never really sauced. To our knowledge, at least.
Right.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It's kind of on purpose.
So we decided to serve you this time. Normally you're drinking beer, but today we made you a cocktail after.
Well, I think one of the covenants that we should have here at Bottomless Bar is that if you have a microphone, you have to drink, and you have to participate in the cocktails. In the cocktails, that's a covenant.
Well, no.
Would you agree, Carl?
Oh, 100%.
Well, at the risk of really beating this up, this fucking cocktail is far and away.
It's fucking delicious.
It's insanely good. Like, what cocktail are we talking about here? It's
The Jack Rose.
The Jack Rose. It is. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10.
It's
in
a
my
Watershed
opinion.
apple brandy.
The Watershed apple brandy really, honestly, just fucking makes this drink like it tastes like apples. Like it is not spirit forward at all.
Unbelievable.
No, it tastes like fruit punch.
It tastes like fruit punch. Yeah. So
I hate to steal Carl's catchphrase, but it is sweet, sweet nectar.
It's that sweet, sweet nectar, baby. You just that suckle at the teat of the nectar.
yeah, and I don't know, what do I say? Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked by how delicious this drink is, and
how long it's been in.
This was the first
existence.
time you've had the drink, too,
this is the first
right?
time I've had a Jack Rose. I've made them for other people, but never had one myself. And I would maybe somewhat of a guess, but I would say that the quality of the grenadine also plays a part in this. Like it's candy-like almost.
Yeah.
And I think if you have like a shitty grenadine, like Roses or something like that, it probably wouldn't play out as well, right? I don't know if you said you've never had grenadine before, but Carl, on the other hand, I would say that you're a grenadine expert.
Well, yeah. I've had my fair share of grenadine.
So the grenadine is this quality. Also, thanks Jess for dropping off the grenadine. You
Shout
couldn't
out,
be
Jess.
here. Shout out Jess. Yeah,
We
you couldn't be here
missed you,
tonight, but she did provide the grenadine for us
Yeah.
tonight. I was gonna make it, but Jess saved me from that. Saved me from myself.
Yeah.
And allowed me to be a little bit lazier than I already am, which is really nice, and I appreciate that. So yeah, one of the covenants here at Bottomless Bar is that you know, if it's your first time, if it's your second time, if it's your third time, you have to drink. If you're on mic, you have to have one of the cocktails.
I think there's a 3-drink minimum.
I think we're and I think we're almost ready for another drink break.
I think, listen, we've gotten a lot of feedback that the people like our giggles, and I think it's important to note that the giggles come from the alcohol that we're consuming.
It's really. It's a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crutch.
We need it to stay
I'm
alive.
okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that because it's a delicious, delicious crutch. Did you guys want to add anything else about Valentine's Day? Like, should we just get rid of the whole fucking holiday?
I think we've abolished
Get
it.
rid of it.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, from this point on, like in your relationship, are you just going to fail to acknowledge it any further going forward?
No, I'm still going to give him shit for it.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm gonna treat it like I treat Chick-fil-A. It doesn't exist.
Closed on Sunday?
Are they closed on Sunday?
You're my Chick-fil-A. Kanye?
Yes, they're closed on Sunday
I didn't know
for
that.
their Christian beliefs.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Well, yeah, I mean, you said you had a teat you wanted to suckle. What was it?
What?
Again? You wanted to culture us about suckling teats.
No. I don't know. There's no teats this evening.
Is there a restaurant out there that you wanted to steal from? Like, there's one on your target. Like, I haven't stole from this restaurant yet, and I'm coming for you. So
I think that you're mistaking me for somebody because I never said that I was the klepto. I didn't. Did I say that?
Jess
I
is
don't
the one
remember.
that stole from restaurants.
well, she's not here to defend herself, so we'll just go with that.
I will say that I was at a restaurant recently with a friend, and her boyfriend stole glassware.
Wait, you did say you've stolen from restaurants because Pod Mom is the one that's called you out on that.
No.
Actually,
I'm not saying that I've never stolen. I'm not saying that I've never stolen. I'd be a fool to lie like that on the stage.
Yeah.
No, I've stolen, but from bars, from grocery stores. You know, times are tough. Sometimes you just put the toilet paper on the bottom of the cart, and you don't.
They don't need to know the bananas were organic.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Self-checkout.
Fun fact. Self-checkout. Okay.
I almost did it today.
Let's get into it. Okay. Self-checkout. This is more entertaining than my grenadine story. The self-checkout. So fun fact for all you organic vegetable produce buying folks.
That's me.
They just put a 9 in front of everything, okay? So for example, bananas are 4011, 4011. All you have to do is punch in 9.
You leave the 9 off, you punch in 4011.
Right, that's what I mean.
And you get it for the regular price instead of the organic price.
That's correct.
Life hack.
Anything.
You should do a TED Talk.
A 40 Gala apples are 48.96. I have a problem, but I used to.
This is Carl's klepto hour now.
I haven't done it in a really long time, but
Mainly because I'm the one who goes grocery shopping
yeah,
currently.
he keeps me in the home, so I can't steal. I liked you better when you didn't have a microphone.
So did I.
Well, I'm glad that you have a microphone. Personally, I think it's about time. I think we should make it a regular thing. I think it should be. I know you're exasperated now.
I don't know what to say.
Is it that time?
Yeah, I think it's that time.
It's that time. So, I think we're going to call it a night at this point. We've all had enough to drink. Record-breaking 2 drink breaks,
Yeah.
but not a record-breaking drink night. We still haven't topped our thing from last week, like our count from last week.
What
I'm
are you
fucking told I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But if you have a question, if you have a good Valentine's Day story, reach out to us. Bottomless Bar.
First date stories.
First date stories.
Bad date stories.
Bad date stories. If I fucked up any of the drinks tonight. If you hate us and share us with your enemies. You want to send us to your enemies, like
If you've stolen.
yeah, if you've stolen anything,
We
if you're a
wanna know.
klepto,
I realize
If
that
you've
you haven't.
stolen anything from a restaurant or a Kroger, please email us.
Any
Yeah, what
grocery
do you-
store.
We
Yeah.
promise not to turn you in.
nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Reach out to us. Bottomlessbar .1 at Gmail, at bottomlessbar on Instagram, at bottomlessbar on Twitter. It's the first episode for Pod Mom with a mic. I think it's a regular thing. We should keep doing it.
I just want to give a shout out to Marky Mark, Podmom's biggest fan.
Wait, Marky Mark is your biggest fan?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shout out to
Yeah.
Marky Mark. Yeah.
Also, if you hated Pod Mom, let us know.
Yeah.
We could remove his microphone.
Well, anyways, thank you everyone for listening. Thanks again, Joe, for coming here and doing this. Thanks again, Carl, aka Kara, aka Michelle Smith, for entertaining us tonight.
Can I
Thanks
say-
for enjoying the drinks. Yes,
Can I
please.
say thank
Yeah.
you? Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. This is fun.
We
This
have
is
a
fun
lovely
for
time
me.
with you.
So.
That's why we keep coming
Yeah.
back. It's for you, not for the people.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. Well, thanks everyone for listening again. Also, be sure to join us next week. We have our very first guest on Bottomless Bar. This is Joe at Bottomless Bar. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you.